Hello and thank you for watching my video. Today we'll be unboxing the ILIFE Beetle's robotic vacuum cleaner. What? Let's have a look inside the box real quick, see what it comes with. The main unit. Here is the operator's manual, always good to have. Along with that comes the charging base station, 19 volts. The charge supply cord, AC to 19 volt AC to DC, 19 volts. 120 AC to DC 19. Also included in this box, this is called the invisible wall. In my next video we'll be covering how to use it, but I'm going to go ahead and show it to you now. And there's some spare parts. This is the main brush roller, it's called the brush head. And these are the sweepers, i.e. Beetle's antennas, for replacement. And there's a cleaning brush that comes along with it because this does need maintenance. It's suggested that twice a week you look it over and clean the electronic eye sensors underneath and any other debris you find. With that also comes a replacement air filter. These can be hand washed with soap and water and air dried. There's currently one in the unit. This is an extra. Remote control, the most important of all. The remote control covers all the functions of the unit and programming of when you want active time for it to come on. My next video will be covering that after I charge this. So let's charge it up and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Keep going.
Hi, I'd like to cover a few more options of the ILIFE Beetle's robotic vacuum cleaner. The dust tray on the unit is located right here. You simply press the push where it says push and the tray pops out for cleaning and dumping. You'll notice that the filter is in there, air filter. Underneath, this is the main power button on the unit. Underneath the unit, you'll see the drive wheels, the main drive head. These are the magnetic contacts that it sits on the charging station with. So, as far as charging goes, there are two different methods you can cover. It can be plugged directly into the unit or into the docking station. Two different ways to charge. We'll be covering that. I wanted to go over the invisible wall real quick. There is a dotted line down the middle of it, and this is important. After you turn the unit on, one side will say forbidden area and one side will say working area. You want to set that at an entryway of the doorway where you do not want the robot to pass. That saves it from getting damaged if it's adverse conditions on either side of the wall.
Keep going.
Around the perimeter of the unit, you'll see electronic eyes for indications of obstacles. You want to make sure those are cleaned. The manufacturer suggests cleaning twice a week, which I agree. Let's go over the remote control. This is one of the nicer remote controls I've seen because it's so easy to use, user-friendly. The first one you want to look at is the clock, and the clock is indicated. Where is it? I'm sorry. Setting it up. The first thing you're going to do is set the time of day, and there's two different parameters here. One is for time of day and one is the time for it to go to work. The work time obviously is when it will engage and do the cleaning. On the button pad itself, you'll see a bell. The bell is the button that initiates the cleaning mode manually overrides it. You can also use the bell for setting the cleaning time. So you have real time and then cleaning time. The other functions that this offers is this small button here offers spot cleaning, where the robot will disengage from its dock and do circular spot cleaning throughout the room on light dirt. This button is the home button. When not in use and you want the unit to go back to its base station, you simply push the button to look like a house and it'll go back in charge. And here's the time button. There's a clock right here, which you can access either time and change them for operational mode and live time. On the keypad itself, it's very easy and self-explanatory. Once you enter any parameter, you can direction around with the arrows located top and bottom. This button here says max, interesting button. You press this and it puts the Beetles into highest suction mode. It's quite aggressive. And this button on the bottom is the edger button. You simply press this button and the Beetles will just clean the edges of the room parameter. It's pretty interesting. And what we'll do is I'll charge this in my next video. I'll show you some operations of it. Thank you. Hello, and thank you for watching my video. Continuing on my second video of the ILIFE Beetles robotic vacuum cleaner. I want to cover a couple things. The charging station. We have the wall transformer plugged in, 120 volts to 19. On the bottom of the charging station is a port. Simply plug it in here. Set the robot after turning the power button on, which is located at the bottom. Set it on its home base. Now to operate the unit, take your remote control. I've taken the time to set the time of my activation. If you want to come on in command mode, simply press the large forward arrow. So you can activate it any time, not just waiting for its determined scheduled time. I'll start the unit now. I'm going to go to spot clean mode, where it'll clean small areas of debris and dust. On the remote, as I mentioned in my earlier video, there is a max button. If you press this, the unit will increase speed and suction. After 24 hours of charging is recommended by the manufacturer. After that point, you can use it live. I'd like to send it now to home by pushing the home button. And this is what the unit will do at night or during the day. When you're finished cleaning its scheduled time of mode cleaning, it will go back to its charging station for a passive charge for its next mission. I have to say it's a well-built, interesting little guy. It takes a little time on its return to home. Once this docks, well, I'll show you. Alright, now when the unit reaches its home base, to clean the dust tray, press the button in the front and remove the tray. You'll notice it's some dirt in the bottom here. After you're dumping that, you want to put it back into the unit. Now this is important. You want to leave Beetle's power on, otherwise you have no control with remote control. So the only way to respond is to have it activated, and that way the remote control will turn it on. I want to show one more thing, which is the invisible wall. The invisible wall, when activated, sends an infrared beam across the path of the ILIFE robot Beetles, and it won't pass that area. So this area is to restrict it from other rooms or other obstacles. Once you set this in place, make sure that you have the forbidden area pointing to the room you do not want it to clean, and the working area towards the room you do. The robot will not pass this infrared beam, and it keeps it safe and efficient. Thank you. I'd like to activate the edge mode of this system, which is pretty advanced. Anytime that the ILIFE Beetles is docked, to activate it, you'll have to push this button in the middle and then select your cleaning mode, which I'm going to do edging right now. Now, through its electronic eye, it will find the edge of the structure, walls, or furniture and clean along the edges. One thing I've got to mention, if the unit ever has deficient power, it will automatically return to its home base for recharging. That way you don't have to worry about it dying off in the middle of the living room. Now it's going to the edges. It's a thorough little unit. Notice when it hits obstruction, it backs up. That's because of the electronic eyes that I covered earlier in my video that need to be maintained and cleaned twice a week for optimal function. Now I'm going to send it back to the base unit by pressing the picture of the house, which is home, obviously. Then you'll notice it goes pretty slow on the way back to the home base, and I believe that is for safety reasons, so it doesn't crash into the base station and harm it. So keep in mind, this does an automatic process by itself when you're not even around. Here's George Jetson. So now that it sits on the docking station, it will wait for its commands. You can do it now, on command, or wait till its scheduled time. I have it set for 3 o'clock in the morning. If it sits without function for 10 minutes in an open area, it will go into sleep mode.